No, I mean,
I think only once in my life I've had a more ugly position than that one.
Where was that?
It was a game against Pavel Dragobov.
I will check it in my database.
Yeah.
Which one? Which year? So
You don't believe him, do you?
2003 or something?
well, I have to say that I think in the first London Classic against me, it was also not great.
This was much worse.
Just rubbing it in, you know. That's.
No, but okay, the game was quite interesting at least. Anyway, so we go to this theory. Actually, I played once or twice this already, but very long time ago, I think, like 15 years ago maybe, or something like that. I remember I played once with Gelfand, if I remember well. Probably it was like 1996, which makes it...
Nigel was just saying that.
Yeah? Was it 96 or 97?
No,
97.
I wasn't.
So exactly 15 years ago, yeah, I think I played, and I'm not sure about this knight bd7, queen c7 setup, which is... It's actually also Gelfand played, as far as I remember. I was not really, couldn't remember very well exactly what I wanted to do, but I just had a feeling that, I mean, I remember that position was quite dangerous. I think I played queen d4, something like this, and then actually the game ended in a draw. You know, there was still quite quick draw, so it was still good old times where you could offer a draw, yeah. So the game actually ended in like 20 moves draw. If I remember well, something like this, bishop c5, queen h4. But I remember I had a feeling that the black's position was quite dangerous, and there were certain ways to try to improve on white's play. Actually, over the board, I couldn't really remember precisely what was my plan. I was not sure if I was not planning to play a5, which actually looks very interesting also.
How about knight c5 there?
No, but then I get extra tempo, you know, bishop f4.
No,
that was the point. I mean, I was,
extra
you know, actually I was thinking that I remember this bishop f4 and somewhere bishop g5 was in my plan.
Yeah.
But the point I was not remember if I play e5 and knight c5, I do it here or a tempo down with a pawn on a4. And then
tempo must be important.
Yeah, but that's the point. I started to think about the position, then realized that with this tempo it's really bad for black. So probably it was not so bad. So probably my idea was bishop f4. But I guess a5. Maybe I thought then maybe bishop c5 is an idea. But still, I like this Catalan compensation. You know, I mean, it seems white has initiative, but of course it's not so clear still. Bishop f4.
Luke, this doesn't strike me as your kind of opening with black, actually. I don't see you defending these type of Catalan positions with black very often.
Well, I wasn't entirely unhappy in a couple of moves' time. I mean, I think my position was quite viable, but it's true, it's not something I'm extremely used to. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I have more experience with Catalan, quite much more. Yeah. So I played a lot of games with white, this type of position. So bishop f4, e5. Okay, of course, it's very committing to play e5. But once you play queen c7, there is no other way to do. And because now I get this very important d5 square. Well, the problem is that, of course, immediately bishop g5, because it looks like I lost tempo with bishop d2. But here, then h6 works, and then bishop f6, knight f6. And, well, knight e3, let's say bishop e6, I don't think black has any problems here. I mean, he develops quite quickly. So that's why I kind of have to lose a tempo with bishop d2. So now I want actually knight e3. And now while Luke was taking his time to think, so actually was also thinking about the position. And in fact, already I noticed this a5 idea, I mean, while Luke was thinking on knight c5. Because I actually thought knight c5 is almost only move actually to, well, I mean to, otherwise just you sign that you are worse. I mean, I think bishop c5 was possible, yeah. But I was thinking about the variation, you know, knight e3. Okay, I guess knight d5 is a very annoying threat. Now you have to take, castle. Now black needs just rook b8 and b5. And then he will be quite okay, but I'm not sure he can manage it. I mean, first of all, knight d5 is interesting, but then I also calculated this line. I don't know if it's correct. a5, rook b8. Okay, what is nice that I can repeat moves now, but that was not the intention. And now maybe I thought maybe this can work. Takes, queen d5. Okay, it's very direct. b5 now, otherwise it's not takes takes and queen c5. And I thought, in fact, strangely enough, black is in serious trouble because
we
after takes, the problem is rook e8, bishop d6, and rook d8, rook d1, and all of a sudden I think you cannot defend the last rank after rook d1. Maybe
Well, we think Luke played much better than
yeah,
this.
yeah.
We think what he played was absolutely
Yeah,
fine.
it's
actually,
very-
and
very
his position,
complicated, yeah.
and his position was quite okay for a few moves.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It was very sharp. Yeah. I actually like White's position,
Yeah.
but I understand it's not very clear. I mean, White has initiative. It's maybe easier to play with White, but the position is not so clear. Yeah. Bishop g5. Yeah, maybe here Luke has told me already that maybe knight b3 was also an interesting option.
Actually, I thought about it, and then I kind of I noticed that it stops this idea of playing a5, and then I couldn't remember what the difference was later on. Well, it's very easy because there's quite a lot of plausible moves. It's quite easy to just get lost.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different move forward. I thought I would take.
Yeah, we had.
It was my plan to
we
play
had
this.
Levon in the room, and he just without analysis, he didn't like knight b3. Just
Yeah.
No, yeah, I understand, but
gut feeling. But sometimes you have to play.
yeah, but then maybe now I have to come with this move for rook a2. I mean, I guess because here I was calculating this kind of stuff, which looks actually also quite entertaining, but I don't think it's really enough. Bishop c5, bishop e6.
Yeah.
Or even bishop e6
Bishop
first.
E6,
I mean,
I
this
think,
is
yeah.
too much simply.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe now rook b1. Now the advantage is that I don't put my knight on e3. That's what I thought. Maybe let's say after bishop e6, which looks logical, I thought maybe to play e3 maybe. No, in fact bishop e6 I also maybe can do this and rook c8, knight takes c4.
But then I take it. I think that's what I wanted. But yeah,
But
rook
I
c8.
think you have
I think you're just a
no?
piece
Yeah.
down.
I thought,
Maybe I
thought
miscalculated.
Yeah,
Bishop d5,
rook d1.
e4, e4.
e4, I thought somehow maybe bishop e4, rook d5, something. No,
No, then I just go queen c7 at the end, and I think I'm winning actually.
Yeah. Maybe, no, but actually my plan was to play e3, in fact. That was my plan, just to put e3 and then queen e2, queen h5, rook d1, just to play for compensation, which is okay. I mean, I have...
The knight on c2 looks kind of strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great, but this pawn structure is also not
Okay.
It's
possible.
pretty much like Sveshnikov, yeah? The knight c2, knight d5.
That part I liked. Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite unclear, I would say. It's pretty. I still would prefer white because it's easier to play. You know, I have initiative, and because I want next maybe queen h5, rook d1, queen e2, rook d1. You know, but I understand I wouldn't claim white is better. I'm not sure at all about
You've
it.
got to watch out for knight d2 as well.
Yeah, maybe f5,
If you
maybe
move-
something
if you
like
move your
this.
queen, or rook c8, or just anything actually. Just
Yeah, rook c8 and queen e2, maybe at least. Maybe I have. I'm not completely
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
well, anyway.
Yeah, it's very unclear. Maybe knight b3 was the right move. Yeah.
it's
But we thought black was okay a bit
in the game.
in the game, actually.
In the
Yeah.
game, we thought black was okay in the game.
No, because knight d5, queen d8 only move, knight e3,
Yeah.
knight b3 only
Yeah.
move,
Knight
a5 I think is a
Yeah,
nice
this we think is a critical position.
Yeah, that's clear.
Because we expected bishop c3.
Bishop c5, yeah, sure. No, because, okay, I'll show just for the part that knight a1, of course, looks very dangerous. I mean, I don't know, maybe computer would say black is better, I don't know, but it looks terribly dangerous.
Well,
Rook
you've got-
d1,
Well, this is what
we
I
can
was.
tell you what the computer says. It says equal.
equal, yeah.
Completely
Okay, at least. At least, no, but
Yeah,
humanly,
this is what I was afraid of. for
humanly
sure. I
looks
didn't
very
see
dangerous.
any.
White has a lot of compensation
No,
here, yeah.
Sure.
But
and
of course, bishop c5, I
C5.
spend a lot of time calculating bishop c5 also. I don't know. So now, rook a4, that
Rook
was my
A4,
plan. I didn't say
and
anything
now,
better than
and now
rook a4.
knight takes
Knight
a5.
takes a5.
Knight takes a5, yeah. And now,
And the
okay,
point is you put
the
your
point
rook-
is that I wanted to do this, in fact, now. Finally, after all my calculations, I mean, of course, knight f6 is okay for me, but maybe not more than okay. Takes, rook a5.
rook d8.
I thought bishop e3 first.
No, rook d8 is okay.
Rook d8, I think first, because then queen c1, maybe, no? Just
And-
take pawns.
Okay, b5,
I take on a6.
and just castles.
No, I mean, but I'm for sure knight
Knight
g4. I
G4
mean,
already.
I'm not worth it, sure. I mean, maybe I'm better knight d5, you know, b3. I have some initiative. No, I thought actually bishop takes e3. That's what I was calculating. Now bishop b7 would be nice, but doesn't seem to work because of rook d8. And queen a4 check, bishop d7 doesn't seem to work. So I have to take, I think. And now, okay, this was quite difficult to calculate out. I thought maybe queen e7 because queen g5 might be a bit dangerous. Maybe queen a4 check, in fact, is quite dangerous.
Yeah.
So I thought king f8, queen b4 check, king g7, queen c3, like this. And then I'm taking this pawn, the e5 is hanging. But after queen e7, maybe black is quite all right. I mean, rook takes e5 castle, something like this. Kind of strange position. I don't know.
But even here, I would feel quite uncomfortable. I think. I mean, maybe objectively it's okay.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's
still
what I
very
mean. That I
difficult
thought that
to
white
head
is
for this.
white it's easier to play with white, of course, something like this. But it's not so clear. But finally, I was thinking that I mean, especially since Luke was already running quite seriously out of time, I decided that maybe I would make this strange move, queen c1. Very strange move, but just for compensation. Maybe I want rook a5 already, knight f6 and knight d5 and queen h6, you know, I mean, this might be a threat already.
Okay,
also, I want knight f6, I mean,
yeah,
obviously.
so b5 just gets hit with rook a5 and knight f6, and a8 is hanging already.
Not only, I think it just kind of mate is coming, yes, then queen enters, I don't know, looks terribly dangerous.
Okay.
So queen c1 is interesting. I thought maybe some move like, because knight c6, rook c4, I thought maybe bishop d4, some strange move.
Can I play knight b3 here?
Knight b3, I thought somehow I could just take.
b5?
b5? Yeah, but then I thought I just take on b3, take on a4, terribly dangerous, but maybe not
And then,
so bad.
and then
Yeah.
king f8.
King f8, okay, I can take on f6 maybe, yeah. Queen h4, some attack. I mean, it's hard to say, but there is, of course, play, no, Nigel?
Yeah, there is play. There's no question.
Yeah.
There's no question that there is
I mean,
play.
maybe
But
just
our general impression was that the black game was holdable at this point.
No, definitely.
After a few more moves, we had written it off completely. Absolutely.
Luke, did you look at bishop c5 in great detail?
I did, but well, not in detail. The problem was I looked at bishop c5, I looked at bishop g7, I looked at the move that I played. There were a lot of very plausible moves, and
should we look at the game?
yeah.
Yeah, no, but because rook c8 actually is a tricky move, because I can sacrifice an exchange still like this. Or
Well, then I'd just take on c4
you
again.
still take on c4, yeah, because I was also not sure about knight a1, but here and e4, yeah, and I think it works, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, maybe it works. I was not sure, but rook a4 actually is a problem that now it's quite difficult for black because
Well, it's still interesting to play knight a5. I think.
knight a5. But I thought I saw something. I think this can be a killer simply, no?
Yeah, this is very dangerous.
Really?
Like this,
King e7?
and then I check.
Yeah.
I
You
take.
and now I take.
King e8,
King d8.
e8.
D8. No, d8 is also possible.
Really,
So
yeah.
King e8, now I thought somehow, even this.
This, okay,
At least,
yes.
then d7 is hanging. It's terribly dangerous. Yeah? I mean, knight a5, of course, it's possible, but not. No, but actually, I also thought knight d4, and then I found this nice idea with rook takes e4, because otherwise it's not so clear. Yeah? Knight b6 I have to play. Okay, rook c5, I think I can probably take on b7. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, that's why I didn't play it. Yeah.
I think I can just start collecting pawns. I mean, black can maybe try to get some kind of play with bishop h6, but maybe I can even just keep on taking simply and take on c4.
And maybe I could play something like rook a5 here in some position.
Rook a5, but
I don't
I
know.
always have this queen a4 check. Yeah.
And then bishop d7 or something. I didn't believe it, but
no, but maybe I can take and something, even rook away, something. Shouldn't be enough. Shouldn't. But there is some initiative for black, but somehow I didn't see how it can work. But it's very close to work for black. Because here I think rook c4 is a nice move. I actually like them because knight c4 is not so clear. Knight c4, even bishop c5, but especially bishop g4. Yeah, and somehow now it gets quite complicated. I have to play f3,
Bishop
and maybe
f5,
now
I
just
think.
back or f5.
Bishop
and
f5,
then bishop gets to
yeah.
c5, and it's pretty unclear. I don't know who is better here.
Yeah, because suddenly the knights are actually not very effective on those
The
squares.
moment we saw rook takes c4.
Yeah.
We started to be extremely pessimistic about
No, actually-
the black position.
Yeah,
So-
but actually here I thought bishop c5 was maybe a try. I mean, okay, it's strange, desperate, but maybe it's a try, because after bishop c4 it looks so awful. This bishop c5, I don't think it's good, but
Knight.
maybe it was a
But
try.
knight b
Knight
d5.
knight
B
B
or
to
E or
D5.
E?
It might
E?
not be-
Yeah, and then rook somewhere to c6 or c8, something like this. I mean, okay, maybe to c6. No, c6, knight f6. Yeah, it's not great, I understand, but maybe it can be more or less. I mean, I think it's better than the game, something like this. At least you keep your knight on d4 for some time, yeah. I was not sure. I mean, bishop c5. I was also considering bishop d5 moves, maybe interesting. Maybe also knight e d5. Yeah, I was calculating this stuff. Bishop takes b6, and something like queen a4 check. Can it be like this? Yeah, something like this. Some crazy stuff like this. I was calculating. It can work, in fact, strangely enough. Take bc.
Knight b6.
I mean, yeah, if takes on bc, if rook c4, queen c4. I mean, it should be better for white, but I thought that was the best chance, because bishop c4, knight c4 is just so awful, the position. Yeah, bishop c5 was possible, and I thought simply e3 is the simplest.
Yeah.
And after bishop b6, knight b6, and the problem is that knight goes, and then queen g4, and rook d1, and just, I mean, rook is awful on c7, that's a problem.
I think I have to try to hold on to the exchange somehow. I mean, because here I guess I'm losing it by force. So I was just trying to find at each move I was trying to find something which doesn't actually lose an exchange. I mean, of course, that means my position gets more and more ugly, but at least it means I have some hope.
Sure, I mean,
That's
practically. But I think queen b1 looks normal. You know, maybe there are some
No,
other moves, but
it's
looks
sexy,
nice
looks
because
sexy.
queen gets there. And here, well, I mean, maybe there was some easier ways to win at some point. Yeah, I mean,
No.
but I didn't want to hurry.
So did nobody teach you rook 5 points, knight 3 points, Vladimir? Did you not? You seem to be struggling with this concept in this game.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. But somehow there is also concept of active pieces.
Ah, right. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
Yeah, don't forget I was studying in Kasparov chess school.
Yes,
He likes to sacrifice material. No, but here, yeah, seriously, I don't know. I mean, queen f5, I thought it's logic. I mean, here, I guess there must be, maybe there is a more clear-cut win, but also Luke was in big-time trouble. So it all together, you know, somehow I wanted not to hurry too much. Bishop d5. King g7 actually is a nice move, because I thought I somehow should be winning
Actually,
completely.
we were amazed that
is
Luke
not lose-
managed to make
Yeah.
it to the time
Yeah, yeah,
control without being a queen down. But,
No, but
it was
yes,
just,
I mean,
just
I was
astonishing. It
yeah,
was
because
very good defense.
no time, and I was searching for an immediate kill, but I somehow couldn't see it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was, of course, let's say bishop e4 first. I already wanted to play it just to pack totally black, but then some strange move queen b4.
Yeah,
Ridiculous,
only
but
chance.
Yeah,
only
kind
chance,
of. You want,
yeah.
I don't know. You want to take? Maybe I can just protect now, like bishop
Yeah.
d3, but then maybe knight d6. I mean, I thought queen b3, but there is no complete kill. So I decided to calculate variations, because e4 is very direct. Of course, it's ugly, it's anti-positional, but it's very between these
But
two
I
moves.
have queen c1 to g5. You take on d4.
Yeah, I take on d4, then I don't know. I mean, maybe, but I decided, okay, I saw actually when I played now queen h3 check, I already saw the position on move 40. I mean, it's rook c6, take queen g4 is important. Rook 6 is only move. Take, okay, queen c6, I guess the simplest is knight d5, but any move is winning, of course, but I thought maybe just this, and then, okay, it's just totally winning. Big material advantage. But bc, yeah, okay, because there is some f2 problem, but queen g4 is very important move. And now actually it was quite stupid. Of course, I wanted to play king g2, and actually I'm not sure Luke would manage to make a move here with his 15 seconds, because it's almost impossible to make a move. I already wanted to do it, and then I decided to play for stupid trick, queen d2. I actually saw that black can play like king a7 or king c7, I have to repeat.
Yeah.
But in fact, Luke pointed out after the game that this was possible, which of course I missed. Yeah. the same.
Yeah.
And 97 check, there is king a7 all of a sudden. But then queen d1. No, queen d1, rook d8.
But then I go queen e7, I
Queen
think.
e1, queen e1.
Queen e1, queen e7, and knight f8, queen f7, and your knight is trapped.
Yeah, but I can play queen c7.
You can play
queen b4.
Queen b4.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Queen
so
b4. Queen b4.
but at least I would
yes, you're
sweat
right.
a bit.
Yeah.
But maybe you can play king c8 here. Somehow. Well, of course, I don't say knight c5, of course, is winning, but okay, it's another story. But I guess I can even repeat queen d7.
Yeah.
Okay, of course it's completely winning. But I mean, it was of course stupid just to make this, to play for tricks. It's not really my style. But after king g2,
Yeah.
it's like it took some. It's just actually
King g2 is of course completely.
Yeah, because the only black chance is to play queen c1 check, somehow rook d8. I mean, even this doesn't work. But after king g2, it's just a
Yeah.
one.
I mean, king g2 is the human move.
Yeah, and
we
here,
don't-
okay, maybe queen
yeah.
e6 is also simple. Then knight
You could
d7
you could
just-
even play e5,
Yeah,
e5 immediately
Yeah,
instead of king
maybe
g2.
humanly
Even
no,
more
it's
killing.
completely winning.
King g2 is
So
what
here
I
is
would play.
already
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
So somehow, okay, it was entertaining.
No, it's an excellent game. Luke, where did it all go wrong?
Well, I mean, I guess as we saw, it looked quite unclear for a few moves, but
Yeah.
it was several difficult decisions to make, and I underestimated this exchange sacrifice. So I guess that was pretty much it, actually.
No, I think actually it is this type of position which, because in chess sometimes it's important, it's not only objective assessment of the position, but it's a position which is much easier to play with white.
Yeah,
So I would definitely take white, even if it's equal or even slightly better for black, objective I would take white for sure, because you have initiative and very active play, and black has to defend very accurately, so it's maybe equal, but much more difficult to play with black, this position. That's why that is already, you can say, in a way it's an advantage. So in a way I would say that, it was a good opening choice somehow.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Vladimir Kramnik.